Hey all, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I am Darren, of course, and today we're going to do a spatchcock chicken. We're going to do it with my black garlic and herb compound butter, and we're going to smoke it on the Weber Searwood, and we're going to get a nice crust on it. So I'll be back, show you how we're going to spatchcock this chicken. It's a big old one from Costco. It's going to be great. I'll be back in a minute.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright all, we're getting ready to spatchcock this bad boy. If you're not familiar with what spatchcocking is, it's really just removing the backbone and flattening the chicken out so that it cooks a lot more even. Just make sure that you don't have these big, huge bulks of meat here. That spreads them out more so you can get a good, even cooking on it. So that your breast meat can be done the same time as your thigh meat and all that. And you don't get overcooked anywhere. So first of all, I'm going to take this out of the package. And these are, like I said, these Costco chickens, they've got to be a mutant breed because they are pretty big. They're almost like small turkeys, almost. So I'm going to try to make sure I don't spill the purge all over the place. But I try to make sure I take off any of these little feather things that may be on there. Usually there's some on the ends of the legs here. We just pick those off. Some people just leave them on and they cook off, but I like to get them off of there. And all we're going to do is remove whatever guts or anything that are inside it. Usually got some giblets and pieces of the neck. I get rid of it. You can actually use it for stock if you want to. I usually don't, but that is up to you. And really, the only thing you really need to do to spatchcock, I take a heavier, big, sharp knife. Some people will use poultry shears or what have you, but I usually just take a big old sharp knife like this, and I just go right down the backbone. Usually, if you use a sharp enough knife, you don't have any issues, except when you get down by the leg joint. And usually if you just pick it up, put a little pressure to it, it gets right through. It's a lot easier than using poultry shears, in my opinion. You just got to be careful not to cut yourself, especially when you're going backwards here through this leg, because when you get down to that leg joint, it can get kind of tricky. But if you line it up right, it's usually going to be just fine getting down there. Like I said, just run it right alongside the backbone. And it comes right out. Again, you can use that for stock if you want to. I'm not going to be doing that today. Then I usually just take my blade and go right down the middle of the breast and just kind of push on it. It makes it easier to flatten out. We can just take this and clean it up a little bit. Any of the excess purge that was in the bag, get rid of that. Just make sure you flatten it out. Now I take my wings here and I pin them back. Just pin them behind the breast here, so it looks just like this. So that's your spatchcock chicken. Really takes 5 minutes. Just be careful if you're using a knife like I do. Just like I said, be careful when you're getting around the leg joints, but you can do it either way with this big old knife or with a pair of poultry shears. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my pan now. We're going to season this bad boy up. And we're gonna let this kind of, when we get it seasoned up here, we're gonna let it kind of sit for a few while our grill gets up to temp. And it's gonna kind of dry brine this a little bit, let some of that salt penetrate. I usually don't put any seasoning on the back at all. I usually just do it on the front, on the skin here. You can do what you want. I just try to get everywhere there's skin covered in the rub. And that's it, guys. We're just gonna let it sit here and kind of dry brine. It's right there. Let it sit there and dry brine for a little bit while our smoker gets up to temp. There you go, spatchcocked chicken. Put it on the Weber. Let me get the Weber fired up. I'll be right back. All right, guys, just showing you here that I got the Weber Searwood set to 325, and that's where we're going to start our cooking temperature. We'll probably bump it up a little bit later. I'm using these Smokin Pecan shell pellets. They're kind of expensive, but I've seen a few people use these, and they smell really great. All right, guys. I got my Weber Searwood up to 325. That's what I'm going to be cooking it at today. As you can tell, the seasoning has kind of started to brine into the meat there until it pulled some of the moisture out and then sucked it back in. So looks like it's ready to go on the smoker. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it over there. I'll see you when I get over there. Alright, guys, it's time to stick this chicken on the Searwood. You can tell it's at 325 and we still got a lot of smoke. So I guess these pecan pellets smoke at higher temperatures as well, which is good. We're going to stick it right in the middle of the grill, and it's going to get all the heat and smoke that we want. I'm going to take my internal thermometer here, and we're going to put it right in the deepest part of the breast, and we're probably going to pull this when it gets about the 140, 150 range. Alright, guys, I did crank the temperature up to 340 before, and we're about 134 internal temperature now, as you can see down here in the lower right. I'm going to take a look at it. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Still a little rubbery. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bump the temperature up just a little bit, maybe like 375, 400. See if we can crisp up some of this skin here. So it's looking pretty good. Look at that darkness there. Bet you it's pretty smoky too. Alright, guys, I'm going to crank up the temp, and we'll probably pull it when it gets just past 150. Alright, guys, see I cranked it up to 395. Internal's up to 141 now, so it's getting up there. Like I said, I'm going to probably pull it when it gets just over 150, maybe 155. I don't want it to, it's going to have some carryover cooking, and I don't want it to get too far past the 160 mark. Really don't need it to be, so I might pull it right at 150. All right, guys, my alarm went off because I had the alarm set to 148, and that's where my temperature is right now. So let's take a look at it. Woo-wee. Look at that. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good there. Skin is getting a little crispier. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes and we're going to pull that bad boy off. Alright. Alright, guys, take a look at that gorgeous chicken right there. Ooh, boy. Can't wait to cut into this thing. I'm letting it cool just a minute. It got up to about 152. And I know we got some carryover cooking going on right now. But the skin is pretty crispy. Crispy enough for me. I can smell that smoke, so I know that those pecan shell pellets really doing the job. I'm really liking them so far. They are a little bit expensive, but check that chicken out. Right here, baby. Black garlic and herb compound butter. That's the seasoning you want on poultry, seafood, pork. anything. I'm going to go ahead and cut just a little piece off the breast right here so you can see just how juicy this thing still is. Yep, juice coming right out, flowing right out. It's all the way cooked. Look at that. Super juicy. Man. Really love those flavors. Salt, white pepper, black garlic, herbs, onion powder, and a little bit of love. Great stuff. All right, guys, spatchcock chicken on the Weber. It was great. So far, I'm liking this Weber Searwood. It's a lot better than the smoke fire was. So I'm really liking the this new pellet smoker, and I have no problems getting it up to the higher temperatures either. So try it out. Check it out. Right below. Take it out. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and pass it along. Show people what they can make on their backyard grills. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.